Okay. Alrighty, Roo. So, either this is being split up and spread across a few days. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing that maybe. Or it's going to be one big video, which I'd be inclined to do, but it would make... And it'd probably be fine for a first time viewing. It'd probably... I'm sure people would be a little put off by it, but they'd still take their time and read through it and listen and watch it. But at the same time, at least personally, I value I value replay value, rewatching in a lot of stuff that I do personally, and at the same time, I for some of my own favorite YouTubers. Not that I'm saying I'm anyone's favorite. Far from it. I doubt I'm at the top of anyone's charts. But, like, the videos I really like, the series I really like by a lot of my favorites, I tend to go back to, and obviously that makes it harder to do if it's a longer series with longer episodes, right? So I'm going to try to take that into account, probably. We'll see. I don't know. I'll play it by ear. We'll see how much longer we're going to go. It's seeming like I'm going to get through the rest of this game maybe in one session. Oh, unless something else flips around and on its head and surprises us. So, let us continue, I suppose.
Feeling alright? I think you better just lie down for a bit.
Why was Reina in my room? Blood began to surge through my muscles and my capillaries, my caterpillars. I read that as caterpillars. I'm surprised I read that. I should have said caterpillars. Dang it! Oh! But Reina's smile belonged to the Reina I knew well. I knew I shouldn't let myself feel this way, but I relaxed thinking that this version of Reina was safe. Why am I...
Don't you remember?
After losing consciousness, nothing at all. My body had become more lethargic than I could ever have imagined. I guess that would be the expected outcome after exerting everything I had back there. I tried to at least clear my head, but I just couldn't shake the sluggish feeling out of my mind.
I called the doctor. He should be here soon. Think you better just lie down until then.
Wasn't injured seriously enough to merit calling a doctor, but knowing that someone impartial was coming was slightly reassuring. Why am I here? I'm sure I was at the dam site.
That's what I want to know. What happened? When I got there, Keiichi-kun was already passed out.
That's why I'm the one who wants to know. I was attacked by two weirdos. Oh good, the lighthearted, happy music just stopped. That can only mean good things. That can only mean good things, right? Yep, no, totally. As I talked about it, I finally remembered what happened right before I passed out. Recalling that memory and the terror that went along with it, caused the fogginess around my head to clear right up. Let's forget about those two for now. I didn't expect Reina to be nursing me. I thought Reina was trying to kill me. She should have had the perfect chance while I was unconscious. Not only did she not kill me, she had nursed me back to health. Now I'm even more concerned and confused. I don't know if that's more unsettling or not that they picked up the happy-go-lucky music over the horrifying music. Trust it! Amazing you could drag me all the way back here. Wasn't I heavy? I'm a fat... No. Looking at Reina's delicate frame, it was hard to believe that she had not only gotten me back home, but even dragged me all the way up to the second floor. Did she have some help?
Don't you remember, Keiichi-kun?
Reina appeared a bit surprised, but still kept her smile.
I only propped you up on my shoulder. You said you could walk on your own and that you were fine. You don't remember?
I didn't remember. My memory was fuzzy after the point where I lost consciousness. What about those two?
Huh?
When you got there, Reina, the ones with me, or are those two guys?
There wasn't anyone.
She said it bluntly. The way she stated it felt slightly unpleasant. I was just too timid at that time. I might have been able to force some answers out of Reina. But if I did that, then this kind of Reina might transform into the scary Reina who I didn't know. Fearing that, I didn't press any further. Thinking about it, it was the obvious choice. If both those men were there, I don't think Reina would even have stood a chance. To be fair, she had an axe. She probably could have. As small and skinny as she is, an axe is still an axe. I couldn't find a way to explain it unless I assumed she brought me here after those two were already gone. Reina was still smiling. Her eyes sparkled warmly, yet... I didn't click auto. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You stop it, and with the blurry noises, no! Bad game, no! Yet I felt like I was hallucinating when I saw something akin to a shadow slowly creeping across her face. That small omen sent shivers down my spine. While Reina was still Reina, I needed to make contact. I needed to contact Oishi-san. Reina stopped me when I tried to get out of bed. She said it would aggravate my wounds, so I should sleep. I'd like to go to the bathroom, though.
Sorry.
Reina couldn't say anything else. While Reina stayed in the room, I quickly went downstairs to get the phone receiver in the living room. When I approached the front door, the doorbell rang. Ding dong! Must have been the doctor Reina had called. Totally. Totally not the two guys, or Mion, or doctors behind it all. The doctor is Oyashiro-sama. It was strange for a patient to welcome... What? It was strange for a patient to welcome in the doctor who was making a house call. But it would be incredibly reassuring to have him here for the considerable time it would take Oishi-san to get here. I carelessly opened the door with that simple assumption, and regretted it almost instantly. Oh god, no! I was right! Mion!
Oh, you look just fine. I heard you collapsed, so I came to check up on you.
How did you know I collapsed?
I heard from Reina over the phone. Do I need any reason other than that?
I understood why she would call a doctor. But why Mion too? Reina was descending the stairs behind me. I'm surrounded. There's one beautiful lady in front, and then there's one behind. There's this not gonna end well. Reina doesn't
Keiichi look pretty alright. She made me worry for nothing. That's true. Maybe I worry for nothing as well.
They both began laughing. It appeared to be cheerful laughter, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was a darkness looming over them.
Whoa, what's up with this shoe rack? How did it get like this?
Shoe rack that I'd smashed to pieces had been like that since yesterday. I fell, you see, and the bat I was holding at the time slammed into it.
That is what happens when you swing around something you're not used to handling.
Kept the fact that it was none of her business to myself. Wasn't that when Reina was trying to break in and we were smashing her fingers? Are her fingers fine? But
Believe it like this will really startle your parents when they get home. I'll fix it up for you later. Now come on, Keiichi. The terminally ill need their rest. Come, back in bed.
both of them urged me up the stairs. I had no chance to Keiichi-san, and I feel like they know that. I was pushed into my bed. As it was the first time Mion had been in my room, she began searching around it intently. She fiddled around my room and was scolded by Reina. You can imagine how it went. I know what she's looking for. That dirty old man that she is. It was uncomfortable having my room poked around, but the conversation was so benign that it was heartwarming. During that innocent conversation, Mion said something as though it was perfectly ordinary.
Reina, did you call the manager? Yep, right after I called Mi-chan. He said be right over.
Manager? That out-of-place word gave me a bad feeling. Reina called a doctor, then called Mion. And after that, she called a manager? Who was this manager? Since Reina and Mion's conversation was so peaceful, it only felt slightly odd. What are you two talking about? Who's this manager?
Ah, didn't you know, Keiichi? We mean the manager when we say the manager.
What? We mean the manager when we say what? Like the director of a movie, or like a foreman of a construction site. Oh no. No! 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 I know who this manager's probably gonna be. Dug through all of my memories for a manager who might have business with me. Only one thing came to mind. What Reina had just said. The construction site foreman. The very first victim of the first incident. The dismemberment at the damn construction site. The foreman. But that was strange. He was supposed to be dead! Or the manager of Hinamizawa, as you could put it. There's no way they could call him. I don't understand what you guys are talking about. What does that manager have to do with me? You said he was coming. Did you mean in my house? That's one obvious question after another. But all the two of them did was smile coolly at each other. There's a huge difference between how the two of them appeared and how my suspicions were playing out. Slowly, I felt discomfort and panic welling up inside me. I couldn't understand what Reina and Mion were talking about.
Keiichi, you've gotten into baseball lately, haven't you? Pretty sure the manager will be happy to hear that.
So who is this manager?
The manager's the manager.
So who is this manager? And Mion looked at each other and laughed heartily. A disturbing cackle unpleasantly resounded around me. That laugh, long enough to be unsettling, ended abruptly.
Oh yeah, we should finish up before the manager comes. You remember, don't you, Keiichi?
Her face was laughing, but Mion's eyes told a different story. Remember? Remember what?
Keiichi-kun, had you forgotten, I wonder, about the penalty?
About the penalty?
Did you really forget? The homework with the mochi.
Oh no.
The homework where you were supposed to guess which one Reina made. You forgot about that homework, didn't you?
I certainly did have that homework. But I had thrown away the rest of the mochi after I found that sewing needle. So I wasn't able to answer which one Reina made. The penalty for that? Why now? No doubt my question was written all over my face. Their answer to my question was that dry laughter. I could no longer make heads or tails of anything. I began to think that this entire day was somehow insane. Strange. Incomprehensible. Being chased by Reina. Attacked by strange men. The penalty Mion and Reina were talking about. What were these two laughing at? Didn't take that long for me to realize I had been dragged into an abnormal situation. Who were these two? Who were these people? Who were these doppelgangers of Reina and Mion? Reina had gone behind me at some point. Why was she pinning my arms behind my back? What are you doing?
Don't move. This is your penalty.
My body was already very sluggish, and Reina pinned my arms. Made it that much harder to move. I seriously tried to struggle, but she wouldn't even budge. My panic began to well up, and I realized this was well beyond the realm of jokes and pleasantries. This freakishly monstrous strength, it would have been impossible for the Reina that I knew then. These thin, frail arms grasping me firmly. Whose arms were they?
Keiichi, no struggling. Club rules, there are no exceptions. You can't fight against the penalty.
Mion, no. That thing that looked like Mion spoke to me like how Mion would speak to me. But I was certain that this was not Mion. Someone who wasn't Mion. Someone who was just pretending to be Mion.
Need to finish this up before the manager comes.
Mion fished into her pockets and pulled out something bizarre. I could tell what it was just by looking, but for such a thing to be in her pocket, my mind wouldn't accept it. What is that? It was a small syringe. A small clear syringe like what a doctor would use when you went to him when you were sick. Reina held me even tighter, and I could hear that clattering laughter that no longer sounded like laughter blaring into my ears. That eerie laughter wasn't something that the Reina I knew could ever produce from her own throat. This thing was pretending to be Reina. Was this their real laugh? Unable to defend myself, the syringe Mion was holding drew closer. That needle tip was waved in front of my face countless times.
Don't worry, it won't hurt. It won't hurt.
What are you planning on doing? What kind of sick joke is this?
What are you saying, Keiichi? You know exactly what's going on, don't you?
About what? I don't understand any of this at all.
I know you know. No use playing the fool this late in the game.
I know, you know that I'm not telling the truth. A song from a show I like. Embrace the deception, learn how to be. Worst inhibitions tend to psych you out in the end. Well, I'm definitely getting psyched out here. Stop talking nonsense to try and confuse me! Why are you singing that song? Stop it! You're confusing me.
You're going to have done to you what happened to Tomitake-san.
Oh, no. I don't like that at all. What? The same as Tomitake-san. I didn't really understand what she meant. What did that have to do with the syringe?
You're playing dumb, Keiichi-kun. You should have realized it by now.
Oh, that's okay, it's right.
You're playing dumb, Keiichi-kun. You should have realized it by now.
Rena whispered into my ear, laughing as if to admonish me. But even the way she spoke was repulsive beyond compare. Playing dumb? Me? About what? What do you mean the same as Tomitake-san? Ren thought at first that it was a hit and run. Except when the officer got close to check if he was still alive, he soon noticed it wasn't a normal situation. His throat was scratched out. From a knife or something. No. Nails. Nails. Nails as in fingernails. With those gouged through. That's right. Ugh. Ooh. Tomitake-san had clawed out his own throat with his own nails and died. There's no way someone could die like that. So then, for that to happen... We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. That's right. The police didn't find any drugs in Tomitake-san's system. Well, that doesn't mean much. Some drugs can't be picked up on a touch screen. The police told me they didn't find any drugs in Tomitake-san's body. What the?
Quack.
The two of them laughed together with that sickening laughter. Of course they'd laugh. To assume such a medicine didn't exist just because the police didn't know about it was completely foolish. Meaning, the drug that caused Tomitake-san to die in such a bizarre manner did exist! Mion injected this into me, then that would probably be all the proof I needed. That would basically mean I'd end up the same as Tomitake-san. Become hysterical, scratching out my throat in my last moments. Then die. For such an outrageous drug to exist, for Mion to be holding it! And that I was about to be injected with it. At that moment I did not feel there was any need whatsoever to question it. What kind of idiot? He's trying to dodge a ball flying straight for his face. Has the time to think of a reason as to why it's flying at him.
Just give up, alright then.
Mion's actions lacked any gravitas, and that made it even more terrifying. There was none of the ceremony like when someone is sentenced to death. There was no hesitation at all, as if she were brushing her teeth. Mion reached out with one hand and grabbed onto my chest. It felt like electricity had run through the back of my head and the entire world had gone dark. Did I stand up too fast? Or did someone hit me really hard in the back of the head? Having lost my sense of balance, I was assaulted by a wave of dizziness. Okay, then. We're just gonna cut to that. Higurashi, when they cry. Is this the end of the chapter? Wait. Squat down for a bit. It was probably an indication of the end of the chapter, to which now this would be, I guess, the epilogue in a sense, maybe? I don't know. When I came back to my senses, my entire room had changed drastically. The numbness in my head was gone, and slowly I could tell blood was flowing to my extremities again. How long had I been squatting here? How many minutes? Or has it been hours? It was almost as if the hands on the clock had stopped moving the entire time my eyes were closed. And that's how little time passed. Really? The air in the room wasn't filled with that madness from before, only a dull silence. Reina wasn't there pinning my arms, and Mion wasn't there about to inject me with a needle. No way. Could it be? All of it was a hallucination? There's no other presence in the room besides my own. It was the weirdest experience I'd ever had. I can't disagree with that. This is a very weird experience. I was certainly with Reina and Mion. I doubted my sanity for a moment, but I was also seized with some sort of comfort. I guess that terrible ordeal was Hallucination. Neither Reina nor Mion, they wouldn't ever do something so terrible. My head grew hot. I could tell my emotions were welling up. Why? That wasn't a reason to cry. Why? It was sorrow. Why was I sad? I don't understand. I don't understand. Kind to everyone, not discriminating against age or gender. Mion? Oh. That Mion was sprawled by the window in an unnatural pose. Blood stained her a deep red from her head down to her chest. The bright crimson smeared on the walls. That splatter had undoubtedly come from Mion. She always had that bright smile and was kind to me from the day I transferred. Reina. That same Reina was slumped at my feet. I was making the same pool of blood as Mion. I couldn't comprehend what had happened. Did someone come to save me? Then they beat those two down with this metal bat? I finally noticed the weight in my right hand. How long had it been there? It was Satoshi's metal bat. It was covered in a deep red. There was no doubt that this was the weapon used to mutilate both of them. And I was holding that weapon. I was the only person in the house. Well, Looking at this objectively, I couldn't think of anyone other than myself who could have done it. I did this. That's right. Keiichi Maibara. Of course I did it. I told myself gently as if coaxing myself. Hey, me. How you doing, bro? There's no reason for you to remember it, nor is there a need to regret it. Eat or be eaten, right, my bro? You get that, don't you, dude? But the blood, there's so much! Neither Reina nor Mion had moved an inch. It wasn't just a split forehead and a trickle of blood, nothing that simple. The entire room was splattered with red, and that told me it didn't end with just the 2 or 3 strikes. Were they dead? Both of them? The depths of my mind were calm, but on the surface I was panicking and agitated. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. What happened to your usual calm self? Come on now, do like you always do. Throw your head back and take a deep breath. Come on. Once, twice. Breathe deeply. Calm down. Calm down. I chanted that over and over in my head and relaxed. Color came back to my vision and smells re-infused the air. At the same time, I remembered what happened when I blacked out. Reina and Mion had attacked me. They were both about to inject me with whatever caused the same symptoms as Tomitake-san. But right before that happened, I fought back. I twisted my whole body and threw Reina as she was pinning my arms. Then I followed through with my spin and rammed my foot as hard as I could into Mion's torso. It was soft. Reina tried jumping on me, so I tackled her as hard as I could and slammed her against the wall. I shouldn't jump to conclusions, but he may still be alive. I had no time to ponder that right now. Oh yeah. There's something even more important I need to write. Tomitake-san's death was from an unknown drug. That's right. That drug. It was an irreplaceable piece of evidence, no doubt. Just by having this, everything would be uncovered! I couldn't just leave that vital clue lying on the floor. The syringe is proof. Writing that down, I stuck the syringe onto the back of the clock with plenty of tape, so I absolutely would not slip out and fall to the floor. Firmly Family! Ding dong. The bell rang. They were here. I couldn't write anymore. But even still, there was one last thing that I had to write. I have no idea why it has become like this. This may be the closest thing to the truth out of everything I wrote on this note. If you were reading this, then I am probably already dead. Though you may or may not find my body. I'm just going to write out everything that could happen. Either dying from the curse, being demoned away. You who are reading this, please uncover the truth. That is my only desire. With this, my last will and testament was complete. Didn't write your name on it. Did you? Wasn't certain that I was going to die, but it was my final plea. Just in case. I folded the note, stuck it back onto the back of the clock, and returned the clock back to its usual spot. I couldn't help but pray. Oh, Ishii-san, if something happens to me, I'll leave the rest to you. After that, I gazed down silently at Reina and Mion. This was probably the last time we'd ever see each other. Reina, Mion, I really had thought all of us were friends. But why did it end up like this? I never had any fun in my previous school. I only worried about standardized test scores, about if the school I'd hoped to get into where I really wanted to go, or if the school I had hoped to get into was where I really wanted to go, or a safety net. That was all I talked about. It was a dull life. People I called friends were also my rivals in studying, in competitions and personal records, and standardized test scores. Everyone here taught me how unhealthy that lifestyle was. This month was really fun. Making a fuss over lunch, making a fuss over the club, making a fuss over the festival. Something hot began dripping from my face. Uncontrollable tears. I should have no obligation to shed tears for them, but they wouldn't stop. Even if they were after my life. Even if they were trying to kill me. Everything that happened this month, I wouldn't forget it. I can't believe that was only a month, really? You've only been living here a month, Jesus! Or could it be those happy days were all a facade as well? Was it all a trap, meticulously orchestrated up until today, to ensnare me? Could it have been that I had just arbitrarily assumed that they were my friends? That couldn't have been the case. Both Reina and Mion, they were my friends. Those happy days, there was nothing fake or unclear about them. Someone probably forced them to try to kill me. Or their minds were taken over, possessed by the supernatural entity known as Oyashiro-sama. Regardless, both Reina and Mion, they were the best friends ever. And when they were coming after me, it wasn't of their own volition. Wait, they weren't the kind of people to set off their friends, regardless of whether or not they were forced. There's no way such a thing like being possessed by Oyashiro-sama could happen in reality. Then, did the real Reina and Mion come after me? What was I thinking? What a silly, dumb idea. Having beaten down both Reina and Mion, I was still debating if they were the real ones or fakes. There was no real or fake. Only the reality that was before me. Reina and Mion were sprawled out at my feet. That was the only truth. I was only trying to twist the facts to my benefit. That I had beaten my friends to death. No matter how I spun it, it wouldn't change reality. Reina and Mion were both dead. Felt like there was a crack in the dam of strange emotions I was holding back. Felt like my calm state, which was nothing more than a bluff, had receded. And in that opening instant was leaking out. I killed them. I killed them. Reina and Mion, I killed them! Doorbell rang again. The unrelenting echo pulled me back into a state of composure once again. I didn't have a moment to spare. Quickly, I needed to get away. I didn't want to die. I would uncover everything after that. The identity of whoever or whatever had pushed me this far. Even if I had to drink mud and eat grass. I would survive. I would survive. I would definitely survive. I killed Reina for that very reason. I also killed Mion. I went that far just to keep living. So I can't die. For my sake and for the sake of the late Reina and Mion. I have to survive. I ran towards the door and grabbed my shoes. The doorbell rang again as if to urge me on. Alright. I think I'm going to have to take another break. This definitely is dragging on, but it's not a lot of good places to pause. I'm also going to save it. And again, I have no idea how I'm handling this episode. No. I ran towards the door and grabbed my sheesh. Alright, so be back in a second. Alrighty then, we're back. Got my peach mango lemonade water. Pop the knuckles. We're gonna finish this right here, right now. I don't know how long it's been. A few hours at least. At this point, oh no, I still have no idea how I'm gonna upload this. I haven't even begun working on editing it. I was busy with other things, living, eating to survive, watching shows, all sorts of other stuff. Finishing up other games that I had limited time stuff happening on, recording for that, and all sorts of shenanigans. Oh, good, my nose is gonna... Get out of my system. Here we go. Alright, let's go. We're finishing this right now. Finishing chapter 12 Higurashi. Oh, good. Great. My nose... Oh, of course. I was just in the bathroom. This couldn't have happened then when I could have blown it and cleaned it out. What the hell? No, I'm falling apart. Alright, come on. Body, work with me. Work with me. Let's finish this. I ran towards the door and grabbed my shoes. The doorbell rang again as if to urge me on. Behind this single solitary door, they were there. Oh God, no. Ugh. Keeping quiet, I headed towards the kitchen. I don't think I'm going to sneeze this time. It's going to be one of those that feels like you're going to sneeze, but then it doesn't happen. That's frankly even more annoying, even though me sneezing causes my heart to stop. I sneeze so loud. Ugh, my chest hurt. Blah. I should come up with a keyword, though, if I am going to sneeze, so then people can cover their ears. Ugh, so that I'm not blowing their ears out. Blah. Nose, the nose. Sure, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Keep it quiet, headed towards the kitchen, headed towards the back door. Before opening the back door, I put my ear to it and checked for people outside. No one. Oh, there's someone's. All the cicadas are someone's. When I put on my shoes, I opened the door slowly so as to not make a sound. There he is, the back door! Piercing voice echoed out. I'm wondering what's going to happen. If Keiichi's going to be framed for it and then he's going to be sent to some prison or something. Or is he going to die? How this is going to end, I'm very curious. Maybe it was Oishi's plan all along. He can go out retired on the biggest case of his life even if he's falsely charging someone. A piercing voice echoed out. That voice stabbed through me, setting my hair on end. I had to run. I also thought about this. Would people be interested in watching the anime with me? I think I'd go at it by season, right? So that I'm not spoiling stuff. No, it's not handled by season, I believe. I believe there's parts throughout even season 1. So like maybe the first 3 to 4 episodes covers this, maybe? Something to that effect. Sounds vaguely familiar. Again, it's been a long time since I watched it, but I thought it might be fun and curious to compare and gauge how different the anime is versus the visual novel. And then obviously once we hit the stopping point in the anime, we put a stop on it until we finished the next game, book, chapter, story, whatever it's called. It might be fun to do, I don't know. People have to let me know that in the comments if they'd be interested in that or not. I've thought about that with a lot of things, especially since I was working on the Dragon Ball GT Kai. I was going to edit and cut down all the filler and stuff. I might do that with classic Dragon Ball too. I don't know. Naruto. I've thought about doing stuff like that. Might do that on another channel. Or if I'm streaming, I don't know. If I ever get into streaming. I'm a little scared to get into streaming, if I'm being honest. I'd like to try it, but I'm very scared about getting into it. I'd run! Get out of here, Keiichi! Sorry for wasting time there. I just popped in my head and I wanted to throw that question out there if people would be curious to do that with me or not. One after the other, I felt stuff like rationale and intelligence. Those things you use when you have time to spare spill out of me. I didn't feel any pain from the branches scratching my arms and forehead. My autonomously pulsing heart also felt neither fatigue nor pain. My entire being just wished to live. There was nothing else it desired. Probably had no complaints whatsoever. So of course I wouldn't feel fatigue. Ugh, my nose. I'm sorry if my nasal sounds get picked up in the mic. Ugh. Terribly sorry. Ugh. I know that can sometimes irritate people. Ugh. I don't mean to. It's out of my control. I just ran! Or just recklessly rushing in the direction I was already heading. Even if nobody was chasing after me, I'd still be able to run like this. Jesus Christ. Stop it! Stop it, nose! There wasn't a thought in my mind about where I was headed. Turning around, I felt a presence right next to me. That presence was, without a doubt, chasing me like my shadow. If I took even one misstep, I would be devoured. That's what I thought. So I didn't turn around. I didn't stop. I ran. At full speed. Quack, 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 quack. That was the chirping of the Higurashi telling me it was evening. Really? I thought that was laughing. Are they laughing at you, Keiichi? Trying to tell me something. And then I finally heard it. The wailing cry of the victims who didn't make it. Would I be joining them? Quack, 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 quack. Only the Higurashi knew. They knew everything. They definitely knew. So I ran towards where I could hear more of the Higurashi's chirps. But the farther I ran, the farther away their chirping became. I couldn't get near them. Why are you all running away? Was it my fault? Was I the one to blame? Then I'll apologize. I'm sorry. 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 You're starting to sound like Reina, Keiichi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter how much you say you're sorry. You're sounding like Reina. I felt that only the Higurashi knew. Oh, of course there was another break. Higurashi, when they cry. That wasn't that far after where I left off last, damn it. Whoa! Run from the truth of my crimes! Chased by shadows. Well, this tells me this would be a good place to stop. Maybe I should. Again, I have no idea how I'm structuring this. I have no clue. It's all over the place. Partially because it's so long. I think I am going to stop it here. I'll figure out how I'm going to handle and structure the videos, and obviously you know in post how it all went down, finally what I decided on. But I think this is a good stopping point for whatever numbered episode I'm on at this point. So, and I think I am going to split it up, otherwise it'll be way too long. Yeah, this is probably the best place to stop. Part 2 of Chapter 12? Part 3? Part 4 even? I don't know. So, and then I can deal with my sinus problems and then come back and I'll finish recording the last of Chapter 12 and we'll see how this all plays out from here on out. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and or evening. And until next time, whatever I may do, I hope to see you then. Farewell.